I grew up in Kansas, surrounded by endless stretches of farmland that looked almost identical, no matter where you turned. Golden fields, wooden fences, and the distant hum of cicadas at dusk. It was quiet, peaceful, and sometimes too quiet. My uncle, Raymond, owned one of those farms, a massive piece of land miles from the nearest town. Every summer, I stayed there for a few weeks to help with chores. I hated it at first, the dirt, the heat, the boredom, but that last summer, when I turned 17, something happened that changed how I saw those fields forever. It started when Uncle Ray decided to install a scarecrow. He'd never had one before. "Crow's been picking at the corn again," he said, wiping sweat from his brow. That afternoon, he pulled out an old wooden post, a burlap sack, and some ragged clothes that looked like they belonged to a scarecrow from a century ago. The thing smelled awful. A mix of mildew and something else. Something foul that reminded me of spoiled meat. "Where'd you get this stuff?" I asked, half joking. He hesitated before answering. "Came with the property. Old owners left it in the shed." That answer didn't sit right with me. I'd spent years on that farm, and I'd never seen anything like it. The shed had always been locked, but I didn't press him. By sunset, the scarecrow was up, tall, bent slightly forward, with a burlap head that sagged in the middle where its mouth should have been. Its eyes were two black buttons stitched unevenly into the sack, one slightly lower than the other, giving it a lopsided stare. Uncle Ray stood back, hands on his hips, admiring his work. "Perfect," he said. "That'll keep him away." That night, the wind picked up. The house creaked as if something heavy was leaning against it. I lay in bed, staring out the window at the silhouette of the scarecrow in the moonlight. Its long arms hung awkwardly at its sides. The cornfield around it swayed gently, except for the patch where the scarecrow stood. The stalks there didn't move at all. I told myself it was just the way the wind blew. But then, just before I drifted off, I saw it. A slight twitch. The scarecrow's head turned. Not much, just a few inches. But it moved. I froze, my breath caught in my throat. My heart started pounding so loud, I swore it would wake Uncle Ray in the next room. I blinked, and it was still again. Maybe my eyes were playing tricks on me. I shut the curtains and tried to convince myself it was just my imagination. The next morning, I walked out to check. The scarecrow looked exactly the same. Arms stretched, head tilted, same stupid grin of thread on its face. But the ground beneath it looked disturbed, like something had been dragged there in the night. "Uncle Ray," I called. "Did you move it?" He shook his head, chewing on his breakfast. "Why would I? It's doing its job just fine." I didn't argue, but I couldn't shake the unease. That evening, a storm rolled in. The sky turned an ugly green, thunder rumbling across the plains. Uncle Ray went into town for supplies, leaving me alone. I tried to distract myself with TV, but the power cut out halfway through the news. Lightning flashed through the windows, illuminating the fields in brief bursts of white. I glanced outside once, and immediately regretted it. The scarecrow was gone. The post still stood, but the figure wasn't there. I grabbed a flashlight and pressed my face to the glass. Rain hammered against the window, blurring my view. For a second, I thought maybe the wind had blown it down. But then the beam of my flashlight caught something. Movement near the barn. A tall shadow, lurching awkwardly, dragging one leg behind it. I stumbled back from the window. My hands were shaking so bad the flashlight slipped and hit the floor. That's when I heard it. Slow, deliberate footsteps on the porch outside. Creak. Pause. Creak. Someone or something was standing right outside the front door. I turned off the light and held my breath. The sound stopped. For a moment, all I could hear was the rain pounding on the roof. Then, softly, a knock. 3 slow, hollow knocks. I wanted to scream, but no sound came out. The door handle rattled. Then another knock. Louder this time. My flashlight flickered on again by itself, as if reacting to something nearby. The beam landed on the living room window, and I saw it. The Scarecrow was standing outside, face pressed against the glass. Its button eyes gleamed faintly, and its mouth, the stitched grin, was ripped open, revealing something dark and wet underneath. Its head twitched side to side in short, jerky movements, like it was trying to listen. Then it raised one arm, slow, deliberate, and pointed straight at me. The light went out. I backed away, tripping over a chair. The sound of wet footsteps moved along the porch toward the door again. My heart was hammering so hard I could barely breathe. Suddenly, the headlights of Uncle Ray's truck cut through the darkness outside. The footsteps stopped. When I looked again, the Scarecrow was gone. I ran outside as he parked. Uncle Ray! It moved. I swear, the Scarecrow. He cut me off with a sharp look. Stop. Don't talk about it. What do you mean? He didn't answer, just marched past me toward the field. I followed, rain soaking us both. The Scarecrow was back on its post, standing perfectly still. Uncle Ray muttered something under his breath, something that sounded like a prayer, and then turned to me. You didn't see anything, understand? Some things on this land don't like to be disturbed. That night, I didn't sleep. Every creak, every gust of wind sounded like footsteps. By morning, the field was quiet again. But when we went out to check the crops, we found something horrifying. Every single crow in the area was dead. Their bodies were scattered across the corn rows, necks twisted, eyes missing. And on the Scarecrow's burlap face, new stitches, as if someone had sewn something into its mouth. Uncle Ray burned it that afternoon. He didn't let me near. As the flames rose, I could have sworn I heard something screaming from within the fire. Not like an animal, not like a man, but something in between. The next few weeks passed in uneasy silence. We didn't talk about what happened. But a few nights before I left for home, I looked out the window again. The field was empty. No Scarecrow, no crows. Just the whisper of wind through the corn. And then, lightning flashed. For a split second at the far edge of the field, I saw it. Tall, dark, stitched face gleaming. The Scarecrow standing just beyond the tree line, one arm raised as if waving goodbye. When the light faded, it was gone. I never went back to Uncle Ray's farm after that. He passed away a few years later. The land went up for sale, but no one ever bought it. Locals say the crows never came back. Sometimes, when I drive through Kansas at night, I swear I see it, just for a moment, standing in some distant field, under the pale moonlight, still watching, still waiting. Tell me in the comments, What would you have done? And if stories like this send a chill down your spine, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell icon